So, this is not me trying to like call this guy out or anything. This is the guy who recommended we go through the blog video for, or asked me to check it out. I went to go check it out. You can watch my response there. This is more so me doing a response to this comment now because it's a pretty long comment. So, yeah, and I don't really feel like typing it out right now given my current condition. I just had dinner, thankfully. And by dinner, I mean I had 2 cup noodles, so I have a bit of energy. I saw his comment. And, since the person has commented this, if he sees the video, he can come talk in person, or not talk in person, but like comment on the video. So let's go. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Oh, so lacrosse. So this is the guy who recommended the blog. So he wasn't too impressed with our current with our video, but I'll see what he has to say. Let's see here. The scans do work. You have to open them in a new tab. I see. Chains of Olympus explaining the sun in the Greek Pantheon's Helix Temple directly doesn't debunk anything. Okay, so I believe that is a reference to Mangler. Unfortunately, Mangler didn't really feel up to responding to this guy directly. So that's why I'm kind of over here providing the courtesy. Surtur was directly stated to create all stars in Norse cosmology, which was confirmed to be true by Matt, and to say that Amir was wrong and doesn't know about his own cosmology, along with every other point you couldn't successfully debunk, is so disingenuous. Okay, so. Alright, that's fine. So, this one is where it gets complicated. Mimir is not native to the Norse pantheon. So, a lot of the cosmology's origins would have happened after Mimir showed up. Because Odin was, if I recall correctly, already leading his own group of gods and already had Asgard by the time Mimir showed up. I could be wrong on that one, but I do recall. But the world had already been created by that point. Mimir would have no knowledge. None of so, if I recall correctly, and Mingler, if he feels so strongly about my correction here, he can correct it himself if he feels like it. But Mingler's point here was that Mimir wasn't there to see it, and most of Mimir's information is most likely coming from Odin or secondhand parties. Also confirmed to be true by Matt. I don't know if that was in the blog or not, but I don't recall there being a confirmed by Matt that Surtur created all the stars in the nights in the Norse pantheon. But I'll assume that's true for now. Again, the stars seem to have a little more to work with there, which is fine. Mural Krills in the bow is literally just referring to him using the bow in the game. I don't think that one is because that's a boat of the past. I believe the present and the future. Hang on. I could look it up real quickly, but let me see if I can look up that mural real fast. No one commenting, or I can't tell if the comments just died off or not. Let me look up that scene real quickly because I know what mural he's talking about. He's talking about the very end of Ragnarok. Let me see here. I see no commentary. Hopefully this won't be as long. I just want to double check on something here because I'm pretty sure that mural in question is basically showing the past, present, and future. So where's the ending at? Thank you. There we go. Okay. 1 second, guys. Let me just mute my TV real fast.
Know how to solve your hiring.
I don't know if I'll have the energy to do this later. That's why I'm doing this now. Not very optimal on my phone. I understand that. Hang on. Alright, so here's the mural in question. Okay, so there, Atreus leaves. Kratos goes back to the mural. Let me see this. Yeah. I'll check afterwards on live stream if anyone's commenting. If the guy who I'm responding to is in the live stream, forgive me. I'm can't look at the comment right now. I want to see what the mural shows real quickly though. Yeah, no. I'm gonna have to hard disagree with his opinion here on this one. Hard disagree. So if you guys want, you can pull up the ending of the game. You can pull up the end of the game yourselves for a minute. But the mural literally shows what appears to be Greek structures and Kratos with the blades of chaos sailing downwards or sailing in between two different areas, one of which being the Greek area by the looks of it, based on the structures, and the other based on the trees. And let me see if it gives a full picture later on. Does it never show you the full image? Or let me see here. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Looks like a cabin. Yeah, no, yeah. I'm gonna have to hard disagree there. Unless he has a statement to support that. Number 3 is wrong because it's the past, which is him leaving the Greek pantheon to Norse. Then the middle is the present, which is the events of the last game in Ragnarok, since it shows both them going to the mountaintop to spread the ashes and fighting Thor, and then the letter 1's the future. So even if you want to interpret it as them using the boat, it would be in the past. It would be him in the past, and he doesn't have the axe at that point. He just has the blades of chaos in the picture. That would be in reference to the Greek. That'd be in reference to him leaving the Greek area. Absolutely. Yeah. Can you guys even read this like completely? Oh, it's a little weird. Hello, Jeremy. People coming from different lands doesn't debunk anything due to man. Corey's confirmation of each realm had its own cosmology / own world. The last part of your sentence referring to nameless stating part of the world debunks your whole point. The hell? Nameless stating. I am not familiar with what he's saying here on this one. Unfortunately, I kind of wish he would timestamp it. Like I appreciate him going out of his way to respond to the video. I do, especially so he give his counter thoughts and I can see where the actual sort of areas lie. But without proper timestamps, I can only speculate because I haven't gone back to rewatch the video since we made it. Okay, Mazios here. Okay, so you misunderstand. I do know a little. I do remember this section a little bit, so I'll try and explain it. I don't know if this is what he is trying to say or not. So I'll try and be. I'll try and keep that in mind as I respond, because I might be responding to something completely wrong here. So, okay. The whole thing about people coming from different lands was in reference to the blog statement of the Unity Stone, because the blog, at least one of them, used the Unity Stone extensively as their main argument for why the cosmologies are separated, being space and time, like by a barrier. But shut up, Kyle. We all know Michael Jackson wins that one. But no, so the reason also Matt and Corey do not confirm each realm has its own They do confirm it has its own cosmology technically, but they're all on the same planet. Like we know how big the planet they're on is. We have a statement from them on that one. Also, again, so going back to what I was saying, the whole point of them coming from different places is not specifically. It's just for the Unity Stone, because the main blog, or at least the main blog we were talking about for most of the video, used the Unity Stone extensively as evidence for their being separate, for them being separated, and we just pointed out with several examples that people have crossed the pantheons without a Unity Stone, which will mean that you don't need the Unity Stone to travel between them, which means they're all on the same planet basically, or at least they're all in the same general location. We'll call it, if you don't like the term planet, that's fine. The point is that they're not separated by any massive amount of space or time. Like, there's no barrier between the Greek or Norse pantheon. There's no massive amount of distance separating them because we know normal people have been able to cross and go to new areas. The whole cosmology being referred to as a world doesn't debunk universes existing within them due to world not limiting the size of the God of War cosmology to the actual planet Earth. No, it actually is. We we showed this in the last video because actually Kyle is here. Kyle asked the question, how big is the God of War world? He just asked them, how big is the actual world they're on? It's the same size as Earth. That's where that comes from. I'm certain we put that in the last video. No, rockin' else. Yeah. So, this is further backed by Corey and Matt's statements, along with Surtur creating all the stars in contrast to Ascension intro, where Uranus created the universe, which is confirmed in the comics. Also, this cannot be true due to the mortal taking 3 days to fall from the peak of Olympus to the underworld. Sí. Ya os acabé. Also, this cannot be true due to a mortal taking 3 days to fall from the peak of Olympus to the underworld, which would make Olympus at least planetary in size. That is a fair point. It never occurred to me, and it should have, this is on me, 100%, that if it takes you 3 days to fall from Olympus to the Hades, that would give you a distance of fall time. However, as Kyle did point out here, this room we have to. Okay, so how to say this in a way that makes sense? It's not technically so the problem is that it's technically a retcon, but it's also technically not. I don't remember specifically. Did Kratos fall for 3 days, or was he said to have fallen? Yeah, because Kratos fell from Olympus down to Hades in less than 3 days. Yeah, because he fell off Gaia's back right down to the river Styx. ¿Estás bien? Bien. No, voy a poner antes que me toque bañar. Yeah, so if God of War 1 says it takes you 3 days. Well, no. In 2, he falls near not Hades. He falls near Atlas in 2. So that wouldn't be fair. Yeah, regarding them creating, Uranus created the universe. I don't know if that creature in question, if I recall correctly, wouldn't be there for that one. I don't recall Corey and Matt saying Surtur created all the stars, but I could be wrong on that one. No, it is. No, because fucking Atlas is at the top of the fucking. He's near the top of Hades. It says Chaos is the father of the universe. Did it say Chaos or Uranus? Because those are two different statements. Oh, hang on a minute. He says Ascension's intro where Uranus created the universe, which is confirmed in the comics. I'd have to double check on the comic one. I do recall it saying Uranus in the comic by some weird tentacle monster that Uranus created the universe, but that creature wasn't there to witness the birth of the universe. And secondly, that still gets contradicted by Ragnarok. Actually, not even by Ragnarok, by just God of War 4. Because even if you believe that there are separate dimensions within the Norse pantheon, which I believe that the other realms are separate dimensions. I don't think that's too crazy to say. I just don't think I just think they're separated very, very loosely. Like, they definitely have their own separate areas. I can agree on that one. If they all have their own unique stars, and that might scale to Surtur, great, good shit. That sounds pretty solid. Although I'd have to double check a lot of this information right now. Forgive me. But that doesn't change the fact that the Norse pantheon, the main Midgard, is in the same planet as the Greek pantheon is. So they both can't coexist with each other logically unless they're both wrong. So let's go on. Kratos digging through the dirt to get out of the underworld is literally just contradicted by primary canon due to Zeus as the Gravedigger providing a portal to the mortal realm. This must be a portal due to the underworld and the mortal realm having different flows of time. I don't know if the underworld and the mortal realm do have different flows of time, do they? Because even in Greek mythology, I don't think that's how the underworld works. And Kratos immediately claws out of Hades, like right after he died in the second game. When he gets out of Hades in God of War 3, time hasn't changed in the normal world of Olympus. And in God of War 1, I believe the same amount of time has passed when he gets out of the boat accident and when he goes into Hades. I don't think time is different there. Regarding the Gravedigger being Zeus, I believe Mangler did tell me that is correct at one point. I believe Mangler did mention that Zeus was the Gravedigger, so all right. Also, this doesn't respond to the other examples we gave. Bruno is still not credible due to him saying himself that he wasn't credible. The context of his statement doesn't matter. That's why he says, I think, on every... Oh no, I got fucking Elon Musk message there. Sí, para bajar mi comida para que no cause problemas. Check general chat. Alright, let me take a look at this. Discord. Okay, here we go. This is oh my god, I remember why I hated this so much. Holy shit. This world is the birthright of who were born in this by the son of chaos, born to the son of chaos, father of the universe. But you defied me. God, who the fuck decided that black on red was the right? Oh my god, it's clear on TV, thank God. Okay. But you denied was mine even after before you ascended to undeserved godhood. Your battle with the sun god's champion took my 100 arms and burned them to cinders and forced me into an unwelcome healing slumber. This world is the birthright of we who were born to the son of chaos, father of the universe. No. He's saying Uranus there. Yeah, he's saying Uranus there. Because he's saying to the son of chaos. Bruno's saying that due to him saying Bruno's not still incredible, the context of his statement doesn't matter. That's why he says I think on every single post because he's not knowledgeable.
He has asserted this multiple times. He's only animation director, and you defending him and trying to discredit Matt's assertive statement of realms having their own stars, which is backed by literally all three types of cans, is just showing your bias. I believe that's in reference to Mangler, because I believe Mangler was the one who was more against the stars position. As for Bruno himself not being credible, Bruno gave context to why he wasn't credible in that situation. That would just be a difference of opinion between me and this guy here, because I would just take that means that Bruno is willing to admit when he's not credible and when he's not like a good source of information versus when he is a good source of information. If yeah. If Bruno is willing to admit when he's not valid and when to go ask someone else for information, but he's still willing to answer all these questions, I would just assume that anything he's willing to answer, he does believe himself credible on, and anything he's not willing to answer, he will pass me on to someone he believes will have the proper information. That would not discredit Bruno in my eyes, but this man feels feel different. Also, Thanatos existing before Titans would, by definition, make him a primordial. You can be a primordial and a god at the same time. No. See, the problem here is that Venus, I don't think, is ever referred to as a Titan. Even if Thanatos existed before the Titans, you have to have a statement he's a primordial. Otherwise, Thanatos is not a primordial. He would just be a god. That's just the way it works. Unless Venus is referred to as a Titan, and by Venus I mean Aphrodite. Oh, hey Jaxo. Yeah, I was recording this video specifically to send to you because I got COVID recently, so I don't feel like saying out your whole message. If you need me to summarize the earlier points, I can. I'm currently on your Thanatos point right now. Don't worry, I'm not insulting you or anything. If you want to you can check the stream for yourself and double check. Mangler's not here right now, so the guy you were mainly attacking here, and by attacking I mean directing your comments towards, isn't here right now. I'm on my phone. Hello there. Okay. Moving on. Actually, well, did you catch my Thanatos response, or do you want me to go back to that one? I'll wait for him to respond. Because for some reason it doesn't show up on my phone. Yeah, I heard it. All right, cool. Yeah, so yeah, that situation there is that's where our stance would be with the primordial situation there with Thanatos, given Aphrodite's position. That was good. All right. The scan he used and the other one that you didn't click on, again, you weren't here earlier, but I don't know. You don't have to respond to this in the whole comment or anything. But if we ever make a video again, you disagree with timestamp some of these, because I'm not gonna be able to go back and double check just like off memory, because this video was recorded a week ago and was released way later. So yeah. In my comment Cypher, I can't scroll up the comments. I'm sorry. My phone's thing doesn't work, and my TV's live stream actions are kind of trash. Where was I? Isn't it invalid because it got retconned by a sequel? Multiple continents. My bad, show. Yeah, you're good, man. Multiple continents existing is consistent throughout Greek material. The Sisters of Fate verbatim state they have control over the fates of continents. Gaia moved continents and mountains with her sigh. Hermes traveling to Egypt in the comics. Haven't seen a scan again since it could possibly be fake. Zeus sending a lightning bolt to Egypt instantaneously. This is not retconned by the Norse games due to Surtur creating every star in the cosmos. Already stated why your reasoning isn't true. And Manacori directly stating each pantheon had its own world. Okay, I believe if you're referring to each pantheon having its own world, again, we've talked about this before in the context that world is just referencing what they consider to be the world. But I'll get back to the continent section in a moment. Um, Matt said himself that Alfine has a version of Egypt. So you keep walking. Yes. Accompanied with the confirmation of outer space is inserted, bringing all he and stars into existence. You guys are just blatantly wrong. Okay, let's go over this real quickly. Okay, so this is where I actually believe, and I believe you're a little more, I believe you'll be a little more understanding here because I believe you are fine disagreeing with the authors on their statements. So let's start off with the following here. The Greek, when they say they didn't retcon the cosmology, they're fucking lying. Because, as you point out here, there were multiple statements in the Greek saga that would lead you to believe that the Greece pantheon, at bare minimum, most likely dominated most of the world. Gaia was supposed to be the planet Earth. The examples given in Ascension are very clearly supporting the idea of creating at least some sort of cosmos. It's all very clear. It's all very clear that's what was supposed to be taken. That's how it was supposed to work. And it all worked like clockwork. But then, Kratos just left to a whole new religion. And this could have easily been solved if there was a portal or something. But there's not. And then the directors and authors have gone out of their way ever since to confirm that they're all on the same planet. And planet is confirmed to be the size of Earth. We provide the scans in the last video if you did not see that one. So, this would just have been retconned. Because even if you believe the Norse pantheon had its own planet, Midgard doesn't. Because we already showed in the video that other people from other places without a Unity Stone or the like have just gone to Midgard. Mimir is from a different pantheon. Kratos is from a different pantheon. I did talk about Kratos' boat thing earlier, but we can ignore Kratos for now, that's fine. The boat captain is from a different pantheon. And all those other objects came from different pantheons by most likely other people who brought them along. I believe one of them does look like a conquistador, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But it's been a while since I've looked at Ragnarok. So, this would have just been retconned. The contents and the like. The boat captain. Oh, my bad. Not the boat captain. I think it's not a friend of the boat captain, but one of his crew members. So, for context. In God of War 1, there is a character called the boat captain who dies to the Hydra attack at the start of the game. However, a witness of that attack takes the boat captain's key, and I think his treasure, if I'm not mistaken, and just sails to the Norse pantheon. Which shouldn't be possible if they were separated by any substantial amount of distance or a barrier of some kind that you need the Unity Stone across. However, regarding Gaia moving continents and mountains with her Sai, and the Sisters of Fate being able to control the fates of continents, the fate of continents could just mean the people on there, but even if it didn't, and let's assume these statements are true for a moment, this would just mean the Greek pantheon is the strongest of the pantheons and rules over all the others. Which is actually a little bit consistent there, because especially in the Norse pantheon, it's heavily implied, and you can disagree with me on this one if you want for Ragnarok, but I'm going to say this. It's heavily implied that Kratos regains his old sort of God of War strength in order to fight Thor, who I believe is the strongest of the gods of the Norse pantheon. And if God of War 3 Kratos, with a weakened arsenal, and arguably older and probably, a little, out of it, could match Thor, their strongest fighter, I'm pretty sure most of the Greek pantheon could fight off most of their people. So, that's the Norse pantheon down, and we don't even know what the other pantheons look like. But if they only have, one heavy hitter, yeah, I have no doubt in my mind the Greek pantheon would have probably beaten the other ones. So, also, the Sisters of Fate's power, based on what's stated in the Norse pantheon, is just exceptionally insane.
And also, the way the Sisters of Fate control continents and fate is by traveling back through time or life manipulation. So this would just be them having the ability to just fuck over the other pantheons. This doesn't necessarily mean that those pantheons are separated or anything. This would just mean that the Greeks just reign supreme until otherwise proven. The upended? What upended? I'm sorry. What do you mean upended? Did I miss something in this comment? As for Gaia moving continents and mountains, yeah, Gaia's just weird. I'll give you that one. Had turned countless worlds upside down. What do you mean? Cypher. Is he quoting something? The office meds. All right, yeah, no. So, context my point. So, yeah. Also, Zeus sending a lightning bolt to Egypt instantaneously. I'm not really seeing the issue here. Kratos can't really match Thor the first fight. He gets one shot. In the second fight, Thor is poisoned by the World Serpent, Venom, and Kratos struggles in that fight. The point I'm trying to make here specifically is that the Norse pantheon heavily implies that the Greek shit is a lot more impressive and as strong or stronger than what some of the Norse shit has. Because I believe the Blades of Chaos are stated to be superior to Mjolnir. I could be wrong on that one. And Mjolnir is one of the most powerful weapons. And the Blades of Chaos probably don't even compare with some of the more upper end equipment from the Greek pantheon. So yeah, that's not really... Also, they travel to Egypt, and we mentioned this in the video, but Ares was about to enter Egypt and be like, "Sup, fuckers?" So, yeah, they are. Yeah, so this one could just mean the Greeks are just better than the rest. Which, I mean, come on. Come on, they are. Okay, moving on here. Kratos bringing material from his home literally doesn't make any sense due to the ending of God of War 3. Everything was destroyed and he survived, stabbing himself with a blade. Him going to get the material from his son doesn't fit anywhere in there. It is just a way to get Atreus a knife without too much thought from the devs. Doesn't debunk anything. I don't remember Mangler mentioning this, but I do remember there was a point where Mangler was rambling about something, and I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. But I didn't feel like saying anything, so I casually just turned the other way. But going at this one for a minute. I don't know if Kratos is stated to go back to Greece to get the material, or if he brought it with him. But Greece is still there. It looks like it looks like the apocalypse hit it. Tornadoes everywhere, floods everywhere. But, Kratos can swim. He can just go get some fucking rock on Greece and just come back. I don't think that'd be too big of an issue. I mean, there might be a fucking hurricane or two in the distance. Fucking skies falling apart. But, it's still there. It's just slightly shittier than when it started. Yeah, no, but the fact that he could go back to Greece to get material to build shit would still mean that Greece is still there, and that he could just travel to Greece whenever he wants and travel back. Yeah, it just looks like England. Odin did kill Ymir. It's literally the reason the realms exist. You saying that Odin being a pathological liar. And the fact that he's calling into question if he did kill Ymir is just like how he questioned. Who the hell is Halcid? Hello, Halcid. Don't know you. Let me see here. Oh god, he got more people to shitpost. Anyways, it's just like how he questions everything. It's still canon. He killed Ymir and made the lands out of his body. Nothing canon and concrete has contradicted this. Okay, so, this one's not really too much of a contentious point, but I'll talk a little bit about this one. Odin killing Ymir? I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, I mean, I think him stabbing Ymir is fine. I mean, like I don't think there's anything too wrong with that one. I think was what Mangler was more so pointing. Yo, what's up, Anto? I think what Mangler was more so pointing out there specifically is that we're told throughout the game that even when Odin's telling the truth about something, he is saying it.
Ay, se me olvidó otra vez el glue para la...
He is saying it in such a way to where any information within it is holding either a double meaning or there's something else about it. So, because again, like Mimir himself states at the start, if Odin says the snow is white, he's lying. But we know snow's white. So when Odin says that Odin did kill Ymir, he himself brings in the question when no. What he brings in the question specifically about killing Ymir is not that he didn't. He's not bringing in the question that he stabbed Ymir. He's bringing in the question of the concept of an idea that Ymir could even die. So this one, as for this one, I don't necessarily think that's necessarily a lie in and of itself that he tried to kill Ymir and he did stab him. However, what Odin says after that is that he stabs Ymir and then they were there. So I actually will bring into question whether or not Odin actually made the lands from his body. Because the way Odin talks about it, he stabbed Ymir and then everything was there. So that one is where maybe the quote-unquote lie comes in, where he didn't actually craft the realms, but he did stab Ymir, and from stabbing Ymir, the realms were crafted. However, Mangler's more so point here is we have no one there who really saw the event occur to actually prove what happened and what didn't happen. So the cookbook calls the Aesir primordial gods. So that means, so yeah, I mean, that makes sense then, because Odin, the way Odin talks about it, it sounds like he was there before there was something else. That being said, I don't know how valid we should take the cookbook for God of War lore, but that one there. But Odin killing Ymir is, I think, fine. I think what Odin basically is saying, so worst case scenario is Odin just doesn't scale to Ymir because he stabbed him once and Ymir popped like a fucking balloon. However, but yeah, no, that one's not too crazy. As for Odin creating the lands again, based on the way he says it, I don't know if you can actually credit him with like molding the lands. But even if he did, it would be incredibly weird because he demonstrates nothing else on that level at any other point, nor does he ever even imply, I think, that he actually made the lands. I think it's just the one story and that's it. Because I feel like if we had a character who could manipulate matter so freely, he could create all these worlds. His defenses at Asgard were fucking abysmal. But yeah, no. As for nothing canon, talked about that a little bit. Nothing concrete because concrete, I think maybe is a little more fair, but canon, again, Odin's a liar. Odin was the only guy there when he stabbed Ymir, as far as I know. And everyone else's story just comes from Odin after Odin told them what he did. Actually, Ymir was the first giant, and it was from Ymir's blood that the giants were born. So the giants didn't witness Ymir's death either. Unless I'm wrong here. Yeah, I think it was just Odin, right? Just Odin was there. Guys, I'm asking for confirmation here. I'm not too sure on this one. Anyways, not the craziest point to get into, but that's I think where Mangler's position is a little more hopefully clearly explained here. Realm and region are not the same thing as you covered in the original video. Check general. What about general? Hang on. Okay. Midgard. God, I can't read this. Here we go. Wait. Do you know the story of the Aesir and Vanir actually started? War started? I think it reveals basic aspects of Nordic culture. The Aesir and Vanir never liked each other. Some say the enemies trace back to the very moment the two tribes emerged from Ymir's mystic lifeblood. Back to when time itself began. Okay, hang on. Is this it? Where is it called in Primordial? God, you got hairy hands. Alright. On the scans you can't read? Alright, I'll take your word for it. Alright. Back to the comment. Nami, what the fuck? These ain't my hands? That makes him manly. If you... Realm and region are not the same thing as you covered in your original vid. The problem is that this statement has more weight than you think. This statement by Santa Monica is objectively correct due to Egypt existing in Norse and Greek God of War myths as a region, already covered why it says in a separate country. Alfheim has its own version of it, confirmed by Matt. I have no idea what point 7 is trying to cover, my man. Are you afraid? Is this a response to Mangler? Because I know Mangler, for a good portion of the video, was trying to hammer home a position that the realms on the world tree are not separated spatially. And he's technically right, technically not. Because they're separated by the light of Alfheim. And that's about it. Also, do you address Asgard falling into the other realms or no? Well, let's continue. Okay, here we go. Let's see. The realms possibly have different flows of time. This doesn't mean they have a different time axis. Yes, it does. All right, let's take a look at this. Yeah, so in Ragnarok, Asgard gets destroyed, and when Asgard gets destroyed, pieces of Asgard end up in the other realms. If they were separated by a space-time barrier, or spatially and temporally, as this man here is alleging, that shouldn't be possible. Because they would most likely not be able to enter a separate space-time on their own, unless you make more assumptions on top of that. So it's just more likely to assume that they're not separated spatially, since they're never separated. The actual statement is they're in the same space. What the fuck is Freya's statement again? Whatever. Freya's statement basically says they occupy the same space. So they're separated by a lot of Alfheim, technically, or they're separated by a lot of Alfheim. So going back here for a minute. Yes, it does. It's not just a mere statement that shows this. Atreus literally spent hours in Jotunheim and 2 days past to Midgard, as covered on the VSB article that you responded disingenuously to. I'm assuming this was covering Mangler a little more because he was the one talking more about this, but I'll try and respond when I finish this. The realms need to be spatially and temporally separated due to the Vanir god stopping time and not stopping Skull and hiding from chasing the sun and the moon. The realm tears can also only exist if the space is separated, which is true due to the realms being separated by the Bifrost. I could have sworn they were separated by a light of Alfheim, not the Bifrost specifically. They just used the Bifrost to travel between the lands. I think hang on, I'm gonna look up. Yeah, no, Freya says this, doesn't she? Do I have my YouTube open or no? I do have my YouTube open. Let me check here.
Freya tree and explains Yggdrasil. I guess that's the closest we can get.
Space fantasy RPG.
Can't skip the ad. Sorry, guys. I'll say I might as well go as in depth as I can for the purposes of this. All right, let's see. Pieces of Asgard ended up in different realms because pieces of Asgard's branches got on the other branches. Doesn't this prove them being separated? That's not what's stated, though. It's stated that pieces of Asgard ended up there. I don't think other branches got on the other branches. Unless I'm wrong, of course, in which case I'll double check this. Not right now at the moment. If they're separated by space and time, they shouldn't be getting into other space times. Like, without, some way to travel between these realms, right? That's the point there. Is that they escape in a portal made by Garm. I believe Garm is the one who makes the portal. Or I think it's Fenrir by that point. Look, the dog makes a portal for them to leave. Asgard blows up. Asgard has nothing to help with portals or anything, and yet it ends up all over the other realms. If they're separated by space and time, it shouldn't have entered other realms. Hang on.
They aren't.
Let me see what
These
it
roots
says.
are part of the Great World Tree and make travel between the realms possible.
Okay, travel to the realms possible.
Approach the table.
Give you
How does it work?
You will need this, a Bifrost, to create travel between realms.
Okay.
It can capture, hold, and transfer the light of Alfheim. Place the Bifrost there.
Alright, let's see what she says then. Then you taking our nasal spray.
Give it a moment. The temple needs time to wake up from its long slumber.
Let me
It
see
is
here.
from this room, and this room alone, that you will be able to cross between realms.
I like how later on they just made a door to
What you
fucking do
see
this.
before you represents the temple in which we stand, as well as the realm towers that encircle the Lake of Nine outside. All the realms exist in the same physical space, reflections of each other. These doors, the towers outside, and the 9 realms are all intertwined and coexisting on the branches of the world tree, separated only by the Bifrost light of Alfheim.
Okay, so it's the Bifrost live Alfheim. Alright, so I was a little off there, so that's my bad. Yeah, so, but they're still ultimately separated by live Alfheim. I think the Bifrost version, I don't think the Bifrost is actually a different version of live Alfheim. If I recall correctly, it's just the way they call it when they use it. Because I believe the Bifrost is a weapon you can use in Ragnarok, right? Or at least it's an enchantment. You can use the Bifrost as a weapon. Yeah, because Heimdall can weaponize the Bifrost. Yeah, his arm's made of the Bifrost, yeah. So I don't know if does anyone know if the Bifrost has any specific special properties versus the regular Light of Alfheim, besides it being able to be used as a weapon, I guess? No. Mimir's eyes. No, Mimir absorbs the Light of Alfheim into his eyes, and then they use it to blast it at the door. But the portal being created disproves what you're saying. You're claiming that they are all connected spatially and temporally. Wait, hang on. Let me see here. Thank you. Yet you are using an instance where portals need to travel throughout them. Realm shift also supports us through the shifting of realm. Note the singular. This shouldn't be possible if what you're saying is true. If I recall correctly, all realm shift says is it says realm shift and it slows down time. As for them needing a portal to travel. Hang on, let me see here. You're claiming that they are all connected spatially and temporally, yet you are using an instance where portals need to travel.
because they're separated by a light of Alfheim, which, according to Odin, at least in Ragnarok, kills you. Like, okay, so this is where Mangler was kind of getting at here, and you can respond in real time if you have any disagreements, because you've already provided a few, but them needing a portal... Fuck.
No, es okay.
No, es porque no puedo mirar ellos platicando en mi teléfono, es porque mi teléfono no sirve bien para
¿Te
esto.
falta mucho tiempo?
Dame como... ¿Tu cosa se piensa cuando?
No, mi cosa está empezada desde aquí.
Entonces, ¿por qué no viste más temprano antes que pensaba?
Porque es la hora que como normalmente.
Okay. Tanto como un poquito largo, entonces. Anyways, okay, let's continue here for now. But yeah, no. So them having the same space times. Mangler's point is that the light of Alfheim disrupts time on how a person perceives it, and he claims Mimir like supports this as well in the next line. I don't know about that one. I'm gonna have to go a little faster here because someone wants to watch TV and I can't look at the chat on my phone for some fucking reason. Yeah, because for some fucking reason this shit never fucking... Actually, every time my camera does that work. Sí, mujer, yo lo estoy moviendo, gracias. Alright. ¿Qué? Ay, que te piques. Yeah, let's continue here. The realms may be spatially temporally separated due to the Vanguard God stopping time and not stopping skulls and not stopping Skull and High from chasing the sun and the moon. I'm not too sure about what that one's about. I'll have to double check that one later. Realm tiers can only exist space separated. Again, saying Amir is wrong due to you guys having no way to debunk this statement that is backed up by multiple other primary canon statements is disingenuous. Mangler never says Mimir is wrong. He says that Mimir supports his opinion with the next line in Helheim. But going back to this support crate, parallel Matt, Corey, Santa Monica statements in the literal primary canon, the realms are indeed spatially, temporally separated. You haven't proven temporally separated, though. I mean, your claim is that they have to be temporally separated because they stopped time somewhere, and this didn't stop Skull and Hadi. But why would that be that they're not temporally... Why would that mean they're temporally separated? Well, if there's just a range to the time ability... I actually need to double check this time ability here just to make sure what's going on here. I don't recall the Vanir having the ability to stop time. I know Heimdall can realm shift. I believe Kratos gets realm shift in God of War 4 and 5, if I'm not mistaken. He gets it in 4, right? Kratos. Yeah, I believe Kratos gets it in 4 and 5. Does it say shift the realm in the description for realm shift? I think in 4 it does. I don't know if it does in 5. He does get realm shift in 4, right? I'm pretty sure he fucking does. Alright, let me see here. However, regarding proving a different axis of time, no. It could just have like you haven't proven a different axis of time here. You've just potentially proven that their time manipulation can't reach to another realm, but if they're separated spatially, I mean, it could just be that the spatial barrier prevents it from going that far. I don't think this ability is stated to be all-encompassing, unless, of course, I am wrong. However, going back to why they need to use portals to cross, as you mentioned in your comment earlier, the Light of Alfheim kills you. Even Odin was surprised to hear Kratos was able to go inside of it and live, because Odin wanted to know what was inside there, which means that even Odin thinks it would kill him if he went inside there. So anyone who tries to travel the realms without some form of teleportation or some form of Bifrost manipulation, because Odin can teleport between the realms with his ravens, would die, because the Light of Alfheim would kill them. Mangler claimed there were certain areas where you could walk to other pantheon, or not pantheons, but other realms. I'm not too sure on that one per se. However, I was under the impression at one point that the actual Vanir god of the elves didn't get there via portal travel. He just swam up, like, I think the Lake of Nine, just ended up there. I could be wrong on that one, though, so, don't quote me on that one. I'm not sure what statements you're referring to would support there being spatially, or not, or like separate time axes, though. Distort space and time by creating a realm shift. Is that all it says? Yeah, and so I see. And Mangler's position about time being different in the other areas is in reference to the fact that the Light of Alfheim already disrupts the flow of time, and by the flow of time, it's how you perceive time gets disrupted by a Light of Alfheim. So all these other areas perceiving time differently, which means that they would experience time differently, effectively having different time zones, as Mangler puts it, but they would feel like, separate space times, because if time can be distorted by this ability and we all feel time differently, then less time would have passed or more time would have passed in different areas and we would feel the same. Again, as Mangler points out, Kratos thought only a few moments had passed in the Light of Alfheim, as you yourself point out, but Atreus spent hours. Oh, no, this is something else. But Atreus was already there for a whole night, according to the novel. So the Light of Alfheim can explain these distortions and how time feels for people, or how time is perceived by these people, and to be perfectly valid. Because I believe Kratos states that Atreus has been gone for, like, I think he's only gone for 2 days when he goes to the woods, right? Not multiple days, not like a week. Paraphrase, I don't exactly remember what was said. The Primordials are fighting in God Ascension. One of their arms falls off and it's the size of mountains. Larry doesn't mean anything. Primordials and God has shown the ability to shapeshift multiple times in game. I mentioned this already. This will make sense since she was literally just defeated. It wouldn't really make sense for them. The Titans don't shrink or anything. I don't think any gods shrink when they're killed directly, but I could be wrong on that one. Let me think here. No, Ares didn't shrink when he died. Ares got killed, and Ares, I think, still stayed big when he was dying. Yeah, so the size is an issue there for sure, but them being able to become bigger or smaller doesn't matter. So I guess you could just argue that when she died, she was just smaller for some reason. Also, all the primordials were the embodiment of something. Uranus was the embodiment of the heavens. That is why he had the Greek cosmology punched out of him instead of just creating it. Same thing with Seto and Aurea. They were the embodiments of seas and mountains. When they get injured, the thing that they were embodying comes to life. This ridiculous claim is really just an attempt to disprove God of War stars being real stars, just like what was being confirmed by the devs and in the game. This doesn't prove anything. I'm still not impressed. Also, the well wasn't retconned lol. There's no proof that it still doesn't exist as the base of the Yggdrasil. Just because the level is called Well of Ur doesn't retcon anything. Okay, so this is actually just, and I'm going to be a bit rude here, this is just straight up copium. The Well of Ur, as described in the card game, is meant to be used by a group of people who are afraid of Ragnarok and who are using the infinite timelines of the well to try and disprove it or debunk it. However, not only do we go to the Well of Ur, why would the level just be called the Well of Ur? That's the Well of Ur you go to. There's no timelines in there. But more importantly than that, the characters in question who would be using these infinite timelines to escape Ragnarok got retconned to something else completely. So if the characters who are desperately using it are no longer have the same motivation or the same goal, and we're in a new area that is referred to as the Well of Erd, because God of War does not have levels. It has areas and it does have missions, to be fair. But if the mission is called the Well of Erd, that most likely means you're going to the Well of Erd. The characters are not as they're described in the card game, and the well is not demonstrated to show infinite timelines. So, yeah, that just got retconned. That one's just straight copium. I already went over all of these, but unfortunately, I can't go over them much further because my mother wants to take over TV, and I won't be able to respond. So, again, you don't have to respond because I feel like with some of these examples, we're just going to disagree. Like on 4, we're going to disagree. We're going to disagree a bit on 4.2 there, but because again, we already talked about that. 4.3 kind of disagree on that one a little bit. 4.2 is fine, or 2 is fine. But Sandmaka's already showcased the well existing in Yggdrasil in the scan. That's why I stated that. Yeah, but that would have been beforehand. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that well scan did not come out after Ragnarok, did it? If it did, I'd love to know the source so I can take a look for myself. But again, as we see in Ragnarok, the Well of Erd is not that. And more importantly, the people who would have used the Well of Erd are not the same people stated in the card game. They're not even comparable to the same idea they originally had in their head. Anything else here? Yeah, we already went with Thanatos, and you were here for the rest of this. So overall, some of these were some good points you had here that are definitely worth double checking for sure. I did mention those on occasion. Some of them I don't really think really contradict anything of like our positions, or at least they're not like hard counters. And some of them I feel are assumptions made, as you accused us of making assumptions with Mimir. I do feel there are some assumptions being made here as well. But overall, thank you for responding to the video. Thank you for providing your own, positions here so I can take a look and see what the counter arguments are. You did have some pieces of information here that I'm definitely going to have to double check and take a look at for sure. Like the fall time from Hades to, from Olympus to Hades. And I do gotta look at the stars to make sure the whole stars thing is checking out 100%. Because I remember the stars being stated to be in Misselheim, not specifically created by Surtur, but I'll definitely double check that. Yeah. So, yeah, that'll be it for me today, guys. Thank you guys for your time as always. So then our stream tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I will not be going to work because I'm still sick. I'm just going to call in because they didn't really give me a COVID policy or a position. Thank you all for coming by. Thank you for responding in real time to some of the comments. I'll respond to the stream, just not right now. Well, again, if you want to, that's fine. If not, it's all good. But if you do feel the need to respond, I would just like you to respond specifically to your Well of Erd statement as to when that was shown and was that pre or post Ragnarok. That is what I'd like to know for sure on. If you'd like to respond to anything else, by all means, feel free to, but you don't have to if you don't want to. All right. So yeah, thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys on the next streamer video. Take care, everybody.